The biggest mistake people make with Medicaid is waiting for an open enrollment period that never comes. Medicaid does not have one. You can apply on any day of the year through 5 different paths, and most people do not know half of them. The right path depends on your state and your situation.
Last episode, we covered Medicaid expansion and the coverage gap that resulted from states refusing. Today, we focus on how to actually apply. Jen here. Your state Medicaid website is the fastest path for most applicants, and you can submit a complete application in under an hour if your documents are ready.
Sarah here. If you do not know where your state's website is, start at HealthCare.gov. The Affordable Care Act built an integrated system that routes you to your state Medicaid agency automatically after a few basic questions, and if you are eligible, it transfers your information directly to the state.
Arjun here. Not everyone has reliable internet access, and Medicaid application rules require states to offer alternatives. Tapper. Every state accepts applications by phone, by mail, and in person at local offices. For elderly applicants or those with complex situations involving asset tests, calling the state directly often produces faster results than navigating the online portal alone.
Chen and Sarah covered the 2 fastest digital paths. Today we walk through what documents you will need, what happens after you submit, how presumptive eligibility can get you covered the same day, and what to do if you get denied. Give me 60 seconds to introduce the panel.
Chen here. I will separate the one-off insight from the repeatable move.
Sarah here. The right primary source is worth an hour of commentary.
Grez. Arjun here. Every technical choice has a human consequence.
Excellent. Let us turn to the topic.
Unlike marketplace plans, which have a defined open enrollment period each fall, Medicaid accepts applications every day of the year. There is no deadline, no enrollment window, and no penalty for applying late. This matters enormously for people who lose a job, have a baby, or suddenly lose other coverage mid-year and need help immediately.
Coverage typically starts in the same month you apply and are approved. If you submit your application on the 15th and get approved by the end of the month, your coverage is usually effective the 1st of that month. You are not waiting until the next calendar month, the way you would with many private insurance plans.
Some states offer retroactive coverage going back up to 3 months before the application date. If you had medical expenses in the 3 months before you applied, and you were eligible during that period, Medicaid may cover those bills retroactively. This option varies significantly by state, so confirm with your state agency whether retroactive coverage applies to your situation.
Arjun's point about retroactive coverage is important, but the practical takeaway is simpler. Apply now, not next week. The day you lose coverage or experience a life change that affects your eligibility is the day to start your application. Waiting costs you months of potential coverage that you cannot recover.
Gathering documents before you start the application is the single best way to avoid delays. The most common document request is proof of income. Pay stubs from the past 30 days are ideal, but a W-2 from your most recent tax year or your most recent federal tax return are both acceptable in most states.
Proof of state residency is almost always required. A utility bill in your name, a current lease agreement, or official government mail showing your address are the most commonly accepted forms. A post office box alone is usually not sufficient. If you are homeless or have an unstable living situation, ask the agency about alternative residency verification options because most states have them.
Citizenship or immigration status must be documented for each applicant. United States citizens can use a birth certificate, a passport, or other federal documents. Lawfully present immigrants typically need their green card or visa documentation. Qualified immigrants who have not yet completed the 5-year waiting period may be eligible for emergency Medicaid only.
every person applying for Medicaid needs a Social Security number. If you are applying for household members, the state will require Social Security numbers for each person seeking coverage. Children who do not yet have Social Security numbers can still apply, and the state will assist in obtaining one as part of the enrollment process.
Chen covered the citizenship piece, which is important. Elderly and disabled applicants following the non-MAGI track that we discussed in Episode 2 also need to provide asset documentation, bank statements, investment account records, and vehicle titles. Missing even one of these can pause the entire application while the state waits for the document.
ARS. After you submit your application, federal rules give states 45 days to process most applications. Disability-based applications get 90 days because the medical review is more complex. During that window, the state is checking your income, confirming your eligibility category, verifying your residency, and reviewing your documents.
The verification process cross-references your application against state and federal databases. The state checks wage records, tax filings, and Social Security data to verify income. They also confirm your residency against utility and address records. Most of this happens automatically, but gaps in data or mismatches trigger a manual review that takes longer.
When you are approved, your coverage effective date matters. For most applicants, Medicaid coverage begins on the first day of the month in which you applied and were eligible. This means a complete and accurate application submitted on the 29th of a month can still result in coverage starting on the 1st of that same month.
Arjun pointed out that 45 days is the rule, but the single most common cause of delays beyond that is the applicant not responding to state requests. If the agency sends a request for an additional document or asks a clarifying question, you typically have 10 to 30 days to respond. Missing that window can pause your application or result in a denial that requires starting over.
Presumptive eligibility is a feature that most people applying for Medicaid have never heard of, and it is one of the most powerful tools in the application process. It allows qualified entities, typically hospitals, federally qualified health centers, and certain other providers to temporarily enroll you in Medicaid on the spot before your full application is processed.
Presumptive eligibility is most commonly used for pregnant women and children, the two groups where timely coverage has the highest health impact. A pregnant woman who walks into a hospital can receive temporary Medicaid coverage the same day to cover her prenatal appointment while her full application is being reviewed. 2. Not all states use presumptive eligibility, so check whether your state offers it.
The qualified entity screens the applicant against basic income and categorical criteria, makes a preliminary determination, and coverage begins immediately. The enrollee still needs to submit a full Medicaid application, typically within 60 days of the presumptive enrollment date. If the full application is not submitted, the temporary coverage ends.
Chen's point about qualified entities is key. The hospital or clinic makes the initial call, not the state Medicaid agency. For eligible applicants, presumptive eligibility means the difference between receiving care today and waiting 6 weeks for a decision. Do not skip the full application just because presumptive coverage started.
Imagine an applicant who submits everything except one page of her pay stubs. The state sends a request she misses because it goes to spam. 30 days later, she gets a denial for insufficient documentation. The 3 most common denial reasons are missing documents, incorrect income calculation, and forgetting to list all household members who affect income calculations.
If you are denied, you have a legal right to appeal through a process called a factor analysis of information risk hearing. The state must inform you of this right in the denial notice, along with the deadline to request one. Depending on your state, that deadline runs from 60 to 90 days after the denial date. Missing The deadline typically means you must start a new application.
Requesting a factor analysis of information risk hearing is simpler than most people expect. You submit a written notice to your state Medicaid agency, usually by mail, online portal, or by phone with written confirmation to follow. The request should state that you are requesting a factor analysis of information risk hearing on your denial and include your name, application number, and the reason you believe the denial was incorrect.
Sarah showed us how one missing document can derail an entire application, and that is the lesson. If you forget everything else in this video, remember, gather your documents before you start, respond immediately to every state request, and if you are denied, you have a legal right to appeal within 60 to 90 days. Document every call, every submission, and every response. Drop in the comments, what part of the Medicaid application process confused you most the first time you tried? Okay, it is quiz time. Let's find out what's stuck. D. Think through each question carefully before you answer.
Every, like helps the algorithm notice us, or helped. Every subscriber keeps us making more. Simply, do both. It takes 2 seconds.
Which of the following correctly describes the way someone can apply for Medicaid? The correct answer is C. Medicaid applications can be submitted through your state Medicaid agency website, through HealthCare.gov, which routes to your state by phone, by mail, or in person at a local office, and there is no open enrollment period, so applications are accepted year-round.
How long does a state have to process a standard Medicaid application under federal rules? The correct answer is D. States must process most standard Medicaid applications within 45 days and disability-based applications within 90 days because the medical review takes longer.
What should someone do if their Medicaid application is denied? The correct answer is D. Review the denial notice to understand the reason, then request a factor analysis of information risk hearing within 60 to 90 days of the denial date, depending on your state. Submitting a written request to the state Medicaid agency with your application number and the reason you believe the denial was wrong.
Today's summary. There are 5 ways to apply for Medicaid and no open enrollment period. Gather your documents before you start. The state has 45 days to process standard applications, and responding quickly to any state requests is the best way to stay on track. If you are denied, a factor analysis of information risk hearing is your legal right.
3 years from now, you will thank yourself for having those documents organized and knowing exactly what to do the moment coverage gaps. That preparation takes an hour and could save you months of uninsured time.
Next episode, the one benefit category that most Medicaid enrollees do not realize their state is required to cover for every child under 21. Wait until you see how comprehensive the Children's Benefit Guarantee actually is.
Subscribe so you do not miss that one. The coverage episode breaks down exactly what Medicaid pays for, what varies by state, and how to find out what your specific plan includes.
Don't forget to like.
I am Professor Erica, signing off. Start your application at your state Medicaid website or at HealthCare.gov today.